think I got my swagger back.
This video was sponsored by MMOCS. Buy cheap NBA 2K MT at MMOCS.com. Use my promo code PACG and you can get a 5% discount. What's up, Pack Nation? It is Pack here, and today I want to talk about the new roster update for NBA 2K19. There was a new one that was released 2 days ago, so I'm a little late. Sorry, you guys. I'm just slightly late, but we're good. There was a lot of changes. I think this is the biggest roster update ever. There was 150 players that were updated, but I'm only going to cover the most important changes for every team because if I were to do everyone, it would take forever. Before this video starts, be an OG, join the Pack Nation, and subscribe. Let's get this video started with the Philadelphia 76ers as always. For a roster update that was changing so many players, the one team that barely changed was the Philadelphia 76ers. Mike Scott goes -1, and I don't know enough about Mike Scott. I know he was traded from the Clippers now to the 76ers, so it's probably hard for him to adjust to the new team. That's probably why he got a rating downgrade. Not too much of a big surprise there. Now for the Milwaukee Bucks, Nikola Mirotic goes -1, so he's still an 80 overall. He was doing so good at the start of the season with the Pelicans, but they trade him to the Bucks, and now that he's on a new team, they're probably just readjusting. So, Nikola Mirotic, lower rating than usual, but I feel like later on in the season, they'll start going up a bit more. For the Chicago Bulls, Lauri Markkanen is putting the league on watch right now. Doing really solid for the Chicago Bulls. +1 for him from an 81 to an 82. He was injured for a good part of the season, but he is back and playing amazing. And the player that was traded to the Bulls from the Wizards, Otto Porter, is also playing amazing. The Bulls probably have a good future here. Otto Porter goes +1. This is looking pretty solid for the Bulls. Great players doing great things, and they're all pretty young. Good sign for the Bulls. A lot of changes for the Cleveland Cavaliers. -1 for Kevin Love. He did just come back from an injury for like most of the season, so it's fair to understand why he's not doing great so far. Jordan Clarkson goes +1 because he's also been playing pretty well. If you were to say who's the best scorer on this team, it's probably Jordan Clarkson. And +2 for Larry Nance Jr., and I'm not too sure why they gave him +2. I feel like he's doing as good as he usually does, but they decided to give him +2. For whatever reason, 2K decided. So now they're both tied for the third best player on this team because Tristan Thompson's still the second best player on the team. For the Celtics, Kyrie Irving goes +1. Finally, this team gets some kind of upgrade because they've been getting downgrades all season. But Kyrie goes +1 now with his highest rating ever. He also had this rating back in 2K18, 93 overall. Another player that has an upgrade for the Celtics is Gordon Hayward. Mr. Daddy's always happy. It goes +1. So now he's an 80 overall, back in the 80 overall club because he's been playing slightly better for the Celtics. For the Clippers, Montrezl Harrell goes +1 and now is tied for the best player on this team with Lou Williams and Danilo Gallinari. If I had to pick someone, I think Lou Williams is the best player. At least scoring wise, I know he's a 6th man, but he's been playing great. And they're maybe a playoff team, maybe. So I'd pick Lou Williams, but Montrezl Harrell is right there. Also, for the Grizzlies, the new player traded to the Grizzlies, Avery Bradley, goes +1. I saw him murder the Spurs the other night. Yeah, he's not joking around. Avery Bradley's probably going to keep going up and up on this team. Another player that's been doing good is Ivan Rabb, 21 years old. Been doing much better than when he started this season. +4 for Ivan Rabb, one of the highest upgraded players in this roster update, so that's good for him. Another player that got a big upgrade is Bruno Capcolo, Mr. 2 years away from being 2 years away. 69 overall, he was a 66, now a 69 overall, +3 for him. He is getting minutes for the first time in his career with the Grizzlies, and he's doing okay with those minutes. He's still only 22 years old, but he's just been doing okay so far. Hopefully he can keep doing better with the Grizzlies. A lot of +1s for the Hawks. Alex Len goes +1, Terrion Prince goes +1, and Dwayne Dedmon goes +1. Why? I don't know. They're probably playing better. But I mean, I couldn't tell you much about the Hawks, I'm sorry. Hassan Whiteside keeps going down. 84 overall, -1 for him. He just keeps going down, man. I think my personal take about Hassan Whiteside is that he just doesn't do anything in the playoffs, at least last year. He's a great defender, I get it, but 84 overall, like, I don't know if he's worthy of an 84 overall, man. I don't know. For the Hornets, who started losing games, they were looking pretty good playoff-wise. They looked like they were gonna make it, but some of these role players aren't doing great. Michael Kidd-Gilchrist goes down again, -2. He was up to 79, now back to 77 overall for Michael Kidd-Gilchrist. But Malik Monk goes +2. He even puts his hand up for it. +2, look at him. Malik Monk +2 from his 74 to his 76. He was doing pretty good last year. He wasn't shooting efficiently, but he looked like he was doing good, and then he stopped doing good, and now it looks like he's doing good again. So let's see if he keeps trying to rise up as what he has the potential to be the second best player on this team, I think. For the Utah Jazz, Joe Ingles goes +1. I feel like he could be an 80 overall, but they have him at 79 overall. He might go up even again. We shall see with Joe Ingles. For the Kings, for a team that's been doing really, really good, I'm surprised only one player got updated, and that is Marvin Bagley III goes +1, tied for the third best player on the team with Willie Cauley-Stein. That's good. He's been playing much better than the start of the season, as most rookies do, so I'm proud of him. I'm actually happy he's doing pretty good for the Kings. For the Knicks, DeAndre Jordan goes +1, and the other player that was traded is also Dennis Smith Jr., also goes +1. They so far have been looking like the best two players on this team. I mean, it makes sense because this team isn't very good. Sorry, my Knicks. A player that goes +5 is Kadeem Allen, 25 years old. Been playing solid for the first couple games he's been playing for the Knicks. He was a 68, now he's 73 overall. Can he keep it up? We'll see. Another player that's been doing good is Damian Dotson, but they haven't updated him, so we'll see with that. Brandon Ingram goes -1 for the Lakers, and I disagree here because I think that Brandon Ingram has actually been doing a solid job for the Lakers. I don't think he should be lower than an 80 overall. I'm okay with them lowering it to an 80. It's like whatever, fine, but he shouldn't be lower than an 80 overall, I think. The next player that was upgraded was Terrence Roose. I'm happy that he's kind of going back to that form and how good he was with the Raptors. This guy scored 50 points once in a game. That should tell you enough that he has potential to be great, and I'm happy he's doing good for the Magic because the Magic are on a mission. The Magic are winning games right now. They're trying to make the playoffs, and he's helping out a lot. Another player that was updated +1 was Mo. +1 for Mo Bamba. He is injured, and I looked at his stats. I don't see it, so maybe he's playing outside of the stats. So defensively, I'm sure he's doing great. Keeps getting upgrades, and I'm assuming he's being very helpful for the Magic to help them get to a playoff spot, maybe. For the Mavericks, Tim Hardaway Jr. goes -1, and that's okay because, again, he was traded, and when players get traded, it takes a little bit for them to like mesh with their team, so I'm chilling out with Tim Hardaway Jr. And speaking of coming back, Karis LeVert goes -1, but to be fair, this guy was injured for a good part of the season, and he was so good at the start of the season, guys. He was so good. He's had the potential to be the second best player on this team easily. Let's hope he can come back to season form because the Nets really need to use him. These are the most important game for the Nets right now to make the playoffs. For the Nuggets, Malik Beasley, Mason Plumlee, Monte Morris, Triple M's get all +1s. And that's because the Nuggets keep doing so good. All these players' ratings are going to go up and up and up because this team has been balling out. And for the most part, it's because they're playing team basketball. Yes, Jokic is doing amazing, but that doesn't change the fact that everyone's doing amazing too. For this ridiculous Pacers team that I don't know how they're doing so good, you guys. Miles Turner goes +1. Bojan Bogdanovic also goes +1. Thaddeus Young goes +1. Darren Collison goes +2. This team has just been upgrading like crazy because they keep winning games. It just makes no sense to me. So without Victor Oladipo because he's injured, the tied best player is Domantas Sabonis and Miles Turner. One player that was downgraded aggressively was Kyle O'Quinn from a 76 to a 73, biggest downgrade of this roster update. He's not playing a lot of minutes to be fair, but still, a downgrade it is. Guys, I'm happy to say this, but Jahlil Okafor has been freed. +1 for him, 77 overall, but in reality, he's been playing like a 79 overall. Jahlil Okafor has been playing awesome, especially because they're not letting Anthony Davis play like at all. He's been stepping up for this team, and it makes me happy, man. Also, this person that I have never heard of until today, Kenrich Williams, goes +5 from a 67 to a 72. I was literally watching a Lakers game the other night, and I was like, who is number 34? I had no idea who this guy was, and it's Kenrich Williams apparently. For the Pistons, Luke Kennard, Langston Galloway +1, and no one cares. I'm sorry, Pistons fans. I keep saying this guy's name, but I don't care. For the Raptors, Pascal Siakam goes +1 from an 84 to an 85, tied at the second best player on this team. I still think Kyle Lowry is the second best player on this team, but Pascal Siakam should be there in the conversation. I agree. Jeremy Lin, they need to update his hair because he has changed his hair again. Surprise, surprise. It goes -1, but Jeremy Lin did pretty good for the past couple games, so I don't agree with the downgrade for Jeremy Lin. The Manimal for the Rockets goes +1. He has been stepping up. You know what? I have very little good takes in basketball, and I called it. Kenneth Faried is doing great for the Rockets, and I knew it. +1 for Kenneth Faried. Eric Gordon also goes +1, and he's also been stepping up because James Harden didn't play last night, and he did great. For the Spurs, Marcus Aldridge goes -1, and I 100% disagree. I think he should be 88 overall. He was doing so good before the All-Star break, and I feel like he's doing okay for the past couple games. I don't think he should have been downgraded. I disagree with that. Rudy Buckets goes +1, and absolutely, he's been so good. I feel like he could be so much more aggressive for the Spurs, but 81 overall is good for him right now. Josh Jackson goes +3. Josh Jackson is so weird, dude. In 2K-wise rating, he'll get downgraded 5, and they'll be upgraded 6, and then 1, and then 3, and then 2. Like, he just keeps getting changed ratings up and down. He's like a roller coaster. He's weird. That should be Josh Jackson's new nickname, Mr. Roller Coaster. Now for OKC, Paul George. If you had any doubt about this dude, he's been playing insane and shutting everyone up. He's the best player on OKC right now. And you know what, man? I know I've been saying Harden's the MVP, but dude, Paul George is like doing insane right now. So I don't know, maybe he could be MVP. He's been playing so good. +2 for Paul George, now 3 overall better than Russell Westbrook. That's insane. Steven Adams, by the way, -1 for Steven Adams from an 85 to an 84, because why not? For the Timberwolves, I know you guys are so excited for me to talk about Gorgui Dieng and how he got a +1 upgrade. For the Blazers, CJ McCollum goes -1, and I never worry about CJ McCollum. He always goes like +1, like +1, -1, +1, -1. That's how it is for every roster update for him. But now he's tied for Jusuf Nurkic, who apparently is garbage, according to Ben Simmons, as the second best player on this team. Also, Enes Kanter goes -1, but again, he was traded. Whenever players traded, they're going to go minus because they're like, they need to adjust to the new team. A lot of changes for the Warriors, and that never happens. Steph Curry goes +1, so now tied with KD. DeMarcus -2, so now tied with Klay Thompson as the third best player on this team. DeMarcus could even go a little less. To be fair, DeMarcus came back from injury. He is adjusting to a new team. He's not getting the same minutes as before. So, and not only that, there's so much talent around him. He's not needed as much. So, of course, his stats are going down, but DeMarcus is still a great player. Let's not get confused. Also, Draymond goes down to 84. From an 85 to an 84, he has been dropping like crazy. So, that's crazy for Draymond Green. Also drops. And now, finally, with the Washington Wizards, Bobby Portis goes +1, almost an 80 overall, and he's been playing like an 80 overall, to be completely honest. Dude, +2 for Thomas Bryant. I think he's upgraded 9 overall this entire year. That's insane. Thomas Bryant has been going out of his mind. Right now, the third best player on the Wizards, if you don't count John Wall. Great pickup for the Wizards, apparently. And the Lakers dropped him. It's insane. But what do you guys think about this roster update? Do you agree with 2K or disagree? Leave it in the comments below. And if you like my channel, give it a sub. And I'll see you guys next time.
I think I got my swagger back.